right, just as the women's reservation bill debate is on in the parliament, where we understand the Home Minister Amit Shah is all set to give a statement in the Lok Sabha this evening on the women's reservation bill. It's the BJP that's tabled the women's reservation bill, Law Minister, and you have Home Minister Amit Shah, who today will be addressing the Lok Sabha on the women's reservation bill. In fact, this is after 27 years, we are seeing a remote possibility of the bill likely to be passed in the Lok Sabha. When's that going to happen? Will it happen by the end of today? Remains to be seen, but it's a whole marathon, 7 hours of a debate on the women's reservation bill that plays out in the parliament. Even as I speak, you have MPs there deliberating on the fine print of the women's reservation bill. Amit Shah, the Home Minister, will be addressing the House this evening. The women's reservation bill will be discussed and a statement to come in is what's expected by the Home Minister himself, Amit Shah. The Union Law Minister has termed this bill as the Nari Shakti Vandan Bill. That's what the BJP has named it, saying that this is an auspicious time. It's a time of Amrit Kal, and this bill is an important step towards making India a developed nation. And it's about, and also BJP has appealed for all parties to come on board with it without creating a ruckus. Of course, a debate on the fine print and the details of that bill continues. But it's the BJP that has appealed to the opposition parties to allow for the bill to pass. We heard right from the start opposition parties raising concerns of the bill being delayed, the implementation being delayed because it won't happen until delimitation happens. That's what the bill says. Amit Shah joining us for more on that. Amit Shah to be speaking in the Lok Sabha this evening on the women's reservation bill. We had a lot of the opposition party MPs, female MPs, who spoke about their concerns that they have along the fine print of that very bill. Tell us a little more on what's expected from Amit Shah.
Well, as far as Amit Shah is concerned, of course, he will, put forth the BJP's views in terms of bringing forth this bill, the statement and objectives of the party, and, of course, how the party intends to ensure that there is a greater representation of women in Parliament and in state legislative assemblies. Obviously, questions have been raised, and, the largest stream as far as some of the objections that have been raised, while many have, of course, stood up to support the bill, most of them have the questions around, of course, quotas for women from the OBC community, and then, of course, why is it that the process for implementation of this bill is to happen only after the delimitation exercise is over, which starts in 2027, which only says that the earliest possible opportunity that this could be implemented is the 2029 general election, maybe even later, depending on how long that delimitation exercise actually takes. So those were the broader questions that were raised by, of course, parties that spoke. Most, of course, women members of Parliament from across party lines, from Congress Member of Parliament Sonia Gandhi to Supriya Sule, DMK's Kani Modi, Dimple Yadav of the Samajwadi Party, as well as, of course, women from the BJP like Sunita Duggal, Eknath Shinde faction Member of Parliament of the Shiv Sena as well. All of these women stood up in support of the bill, but there were certain questions raised, and Amit Shah will, of course, throw light on those questions that have been raised. Yesterday, of course, he drew objection to a couple of points that were made by Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary after the introduction of the bill by Arjun Ram Meghwal, where Adhir Ranjan said that the bill was alive, it had not lapsed in 2010. As far as the Lok Sabha was concerned,
right.
Amit Shah categorically stated that that was the case, and if there is any proof of otherwise, that is with Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, he should lay that on the table in the House.
Right.
And, of course, Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary claimed that this bill had been passed in the past in the Lok Sabha, and again, Amit Shah contested that as well. So clarifications expected from the Home Minister.
So, of course, we see a lot of the credit war that's also playing out right at the same time when they're looking into diving deep into the details of that very bill. Is there a possibility that this bill could be implemented before 2024? As per the bill's provisions, it looks highly unlikely, and that's the debate that we see happening in the Parliament as of now. Amit Shah to be speaking on the same, representing the government's views this evening. Palmi, thank you very much for joining us.